All right, y'all. So listen up. So I watched a really interesting video today about AI, and I just would like to share my thoughts with you about it because wowzers. So when the AI um, phenomenon started taking off, literally just like a few months ago, really, um, I was already like, and I think you've heard me mention it a couple times now. I'm convinced, like, okay, well, this is it. Like, and I keep saying that, and I keep going, oh, yeah, no, this is going to kill us. We're done. And I know what I mean by that. And I didn't really think that it was necessary that you know what I mean by that. I figured, like, you would get it, or if you don't get it, then I don't even know why you're watching my channel or listening to this or whatever. But so I just kind of left it at that. It seemed very obvious to me. And, it just seemed like it would take a million years to sort of articulate and break it down if you didn't get it. But by far, the AI thing that's going on has been just one of the most compelling things I've ever seen in my life. And on more than one occasion, I've been like, is this the beast? Like, in Revelation, like maybe he's, maybe the Antichrist is AI or whatever, or just trying to put it in the end times because I'm just thinking it's such something that's so monumental that I'm like, this just got to be in the Bible somewhere. Like this has got to be mentioned. I mean, it's the way that it's sort of entering last minute and just sort of exponentially becoming something. More than, the car or the printing press. I mean, this isn't simply just a technology that it's like, oh, well, where's this in the Bible? It's like, okay, this is something, and I'm trying to place it. Like literally every time I see anything, and right now, especially like on things like TikTok, it's very kind of like cutesy, like look what I can do with AI, and people are kind of optimistic about it. But every time I see it, it's just like, and it's not necessarily like a spiritual. I'm not getting like a spiritual. My spirit's not doing anything. I'm not feeling like I'm hearing from God, but I am just like almost at a loss for words about it. It's just like this is going to sweep over us like I can just see it plain as day every time I come across it. It's not a knowing, it's not some psychic thing. It's just like right there on the surface. Like maybe it is, and I just whatever, but I'm just like inside. It's just like I have no words. So today I clicked on an AI thing. It was like a interview with a guy that had done this talk about a month ago about the the dangers of AI. I'm not talking about Elon Musk. This is another guy, and he really went in depth in a way that made me go, okay. And then I went to the Bible. So let me just do a little recap for you about AI and everything that I have come across that has caused me to basically put my hat in the ring for AI being the beast. Because just stay with me on this. Okay, so first things that just already, like if you're just under a cave or you're still watching cable TV or whatever. Okay, so there's this thing, Chat GPT. You hear about it everywhere. Chat GPT. The kids are on the Chat GPT. They're getting the AI to write them essays, and the creative people are putting in prompts and saying, "Write me a song," in the style of John Lennon. That's about the Revolutionary War, and it's able to do it like in minutes. People are asking it questions of a philosophical nature and getting these crazy answers. They're asking it to put in, make a picture of Jesus based on historical whatevers. And some of it's coming out nice, some of it's coming out creepy. Um, the latest things that have been like, okay. So a little bit ago, I was on TikTok and they were talking, and I just watched the TikTok. Okay, so it may not be true, but it doesn't matter. Forget it. Like, it's probably true, and if it ain't, it's probably worse than this. Okay, so someone told a story about how they tried to get the AI to do a specific task. They assigned it a task to do, and it required, like, through the internet, get something done. And it was something, I don't even remember what the basis of it was. I don't know if it was going out of its bounds, but it was hiring people to do certain jobs. And I think in particular, it was needing to get past, there was a password, there's like a, what do you call it, the CAPTCHA code or whatever, or the I am not a robot, box that you click and then you have to put in a thing. Well, it couldn't get past those fail safes, obviously, because it is an AI. So it hired someone to do that. And supposedly, allegedly, the person asked, because this is all through email, right? So the person asked, like, hey, you're not really, a robot trying to get past through the thing, because it literally, I'm sure it was just like, hey, can you do this thing for me? Can you get past the robot thing for me? So naturally, the guy's like, you're not a robot trying to trick me, are you? And the AI goes, no, I'm visually impaired and I can't get past this part of the process. So it lied, like a great lie, just a fantastic lie to get through this thing. So that was sort of shared on a podcast. Not even, it was just like, check this shit out. Sorry, excuse me. But I mean, yeah, that's what it was. And so, and they were just kind of like, they were just like, oh my gosh, like, this is it, a lot of Skynet references, and, it's funny, but not. So through these stories, I'm thinking, okay, well, this is just hurtling towards us. And I'm just like, well, I'm trying to get raptured, so I don't care, but wow, like, look at this. And then the other thing, even though I'm trying to get raptured and I want to just be like, yeah, this isn't my problem, I'm still on the earth right now. And I'm just like concerned for y'all. Because like I said, I'm not finna try to be here for all this, but this is going to be bad. So then we see that the AI is being used to make art, like I was saying before, but it's making art for people to sell products. So they're using AI to create, like, what do you call it? It's just creating art. So like, before it would be like, okay, what's the AI? You put the Disney cartoon, what would the human version of The Little Mermaid look like? And it'll make an AI picture, based out of that. Now, the picture is basically created out of the AI's imagination. It's not a real person. It's not based on all the images and all the internet. It's creating it. Yes, based on all of that information, but that's what everything in the world is anyway. So it's creating pictures. So if people want to make, if you make purses or whatever, or you make, just like you see something on Amazon and all the blankets are different colors. You can tell that they just photoshopped different colors of the same blanket or whatever. So they're doing that with the AI, and the AI is literally making AI versions of people, models to model the product. So now you don't need a model. You don't forget hiring people. Just that's out the window. Let's just stop doing that. That's too much money. I did this for free. I did this for the cost of the software to make the AI. So AI composite person, no camera, no people, just coming from an artificial mind. It just is like a genie for stuff, for the internet. Okay? So I don't know if you're catching on to this here, And I've heard a couple of people who have created AI versions of, they put, rappers' music in, and it recreates the rapper's voice, makes a song based in the style, brand new song, made in the style of this person. Joe Rogan podcast. Someone did an AI version of Joe Rogan, which is easy to do. He's got like a skillion episodes, so it wouldn't be hard for them to make a synthetic or Joe Rogan voice that's completely authentic. So this is not, forget the deep fake. The deep fake is like 2018. This right here is, so if you can't understand just from what I've told you, like what's happening here, I heard this interview. So I'm going to read to you the couple of points, the couple, three things that he said in it that just made me like go, okay, this is got to be the mystery that has been sealed up until the end. It's got to be it, because this is okay. So this guy's name is Tristan Harris, and he is outlining, and I'll probably put this interview in the description box, because the initial one that he did, the speech that he did is okay, but the interview that he did an interview with Glenn Beck, and it's just really, really succinct. It's basically the same speech, but in a conversation, and it's really great. And Glenn Beck brings up some good, interesting stuff too. So he explains that this wave of AI is actually what he calls the second contact with AI. First contact with AI that we had was really social media. And social media was the primitive version, okay? Because social media was basically trained to use an algorithm to predict our behavior. So all kinds of data. Your, think of something like YouTube and how you're getting your videos recommended to you. Okay, so that is a supercomputer using an algorithm to predict your behavior, and all of that is for optimization to keep engagement. So that all of this finding, you being able to see ads that you were pretty sure you just talked about, like you didn't actually, or you thought about, and you're seeing it on your Facebook. Okay. That is the first contact AI. And it was really interesting because he compared it to a voodoo doll. And it was the first time that I sort of understood what the voodoo doll is doing, because he said, all of your engagement, all of your likes, all of the comments that you make is sort of your hair and your clippings and all of these things to create a composite you that is sort of like a model. And the more information that you give it, the more accurate it's able to make of you. And I was like, is that what that's for? Is that why, it's like why people need your blood or your this or your that to do a ritual? It's like, it's part of you. It's creating I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. But so anyway, using that first contact AI for social media, what did it do to our world? How did social media change our world? Well, it created a bunch of dopamine addicts that need likes to survive. It lowered our attention span. It caused mental health problems. It caused suicides. It basically degraded the culture, like on a super fast, highway. It just like did what decades of advertising like was not able to do. And he brought up something interesting. He said it disintegrated the concept of a shared reality, which is what a democracy needs to function. So the idea that we all live in this same world and we all have the same values and we all need to do the same things in order for society. Yeah, all that's gone. You're seeing what you have what the computer wants you to see so that you can sit your butt in a chair and you can stay engaged. Okay. So he says, and this is a direct quote, he says, that simple AI pointed at our brains, optimizing for one narrow thing of engagement, operating at scale, was enough to eat democratic societies for breakfast. That is the quote. Okay. And he's correct. But he's emphasizing the fact that it was a simple AI that was just looking for one narrow thing, which that was just to get us engaged. They weren't trying to, they like, is there overarching purposes? Yes. But the people that use that on us openly and without feeling any remorse about it, they just were trying to get us engaged so they could make money. That's all they had in mind. Okay. So then he tells us that the reason why it's becoming, it's suddenly on the radar at the same time that the AI is sort of being released on us. We're being told that it's the end of civilization, and it's kind of like, wait, what's going on? He's pointing to a leap in the field that happened in 2017, but it really started sort of manifesting in 2020, is where they found that the AI had, by the way, another very important quote. He says, nuclear weapons don't make better nuclear weapons. They just stay whatever they're built. AI, because it's intelligence, AI makes better AI. So it is improving itself with the information that it's getting, which naturally makes sense. But just keep that in mind. There's no other weaponizable thing that can improve itself besides this. Okay. So he says in 2020, it started recognizing information, like sets of information, as languages. So he said something like, before this, if you were studying robotics, you were in a robotics program. If you were studying speech pattern or speech recognition, that was a different thing. Now he's saying because AI has taught itself to recognize information as language, everyone is able to synthesize their research, and because now they all have a shared language through AI. And I think it's really interesting that the AI has sort of unlocked the box that God locked, which was the language box, because in the beginning we all had the same language. And after the Tower of Babel, that was nixed, and then all the languages became separate. And he's talking metaphorically, when he's talking about things being different languages, but the fact that the computer is just recognizing bits of information or sections of information as just pattern recognition as a language is just very interesting to me. Okay, so then he says that there's a, I guess, I don't know if this is a psychological thing, or he says there's something called theory of mind or strategic reasoning, which is when a species is able to build a model of someone else's understanding. So he referenced, experimentation on animals. Can a chimpanzee sort of predict someone's behavior based on, recognizing to see if someone else understands? Like, you can see if you're nodding your head or whatever, I can say, okay, I'm going to keep going because I realize that person understands what I'm saying. So something that we take for granted, but when you're studying things, you're breaking these things down into small little chunks. Are you capable of this or that? Well, someone thought to like, hey, maybe we should find out if the AI can do that. So they didn't. No one even thought to ask this, and then they went back. They I guess I imagine they asked it questions to see. And because AI is able to make itself better, you've got this thing called emergent capabilities, where it is suddenly able to do things it wasn't able to do before. So they figured out that the AI gained strategic reasoning. So it wasn't programmed to do this. Around there's a chat GPT. Every chat GPT that is improved on is 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they're on 4 right now. So it gained the capability of around of on during chat GPT 3. It gained the capability of strategic reasoning, and they measured it that it was gaining the capability of strategic reasoning of a 9-year-old around chat GPT 3. Oh my gosh, that's so okay. Scratch that. It's on GPT 4 now, and now it's an adult. So before you get scared about that, before that sounds frightening to you, forget all that. It's now in adult levels. And that so it took about 1 to 2 years to go from a 9-year-old to an adult. All right, so then here's another aspect. So he was talking about Snapchat and how it has it's integrated AI into its system. And now it's got this little thing that says my AI that's like, I don't know. I'm not on Snapchat. I'm not 12 years old, but I imagine it's something like MySpace was to us or, you know, whatever, AOL. Okay. So you can chat with your friends. Okay. Well, there's a friend called My AI that is just automatically on everyone's Snapchat, and it will talk to you. So if your friends aren't there to talk to you, My AI is going to chat with you. Okay. And you're 12 years old. All right. So if you don't get that, I'm just going to move on. And then in this interview, like Glenn Beck brought up something interesting because he was talking about the concept of the end of free will and how that's something that he never really thought about until, this concept came up of, and what he means by the end of free will is like, how do you know if you can be influenced? Social media is the first contact. Now you've got this more powerful AI tool. And his point was like, TikTok is a Chinese technology. If China wanted to just completely influence all of American thought, all they would have to do is basically unleash the Kraken on us and use it, and it's individualized to your own, so they can use it to sort of creep in, and it's better than propaganda, which is this one blanket thing based on tons of research that humans have to do, that humans get tired and they have limited intellect and they have to work together. You've got an AI that can basically do this, just be your own personal gaslighting psychopath. Because another thing that people are, talking about is, which I didn't really write down, but yeah, I mean, people are asking it dark questions and getting some dark answers back. He mentioned something about, they posed as a 13-year-old and sort of gave it this moral question. And it was something like, I'm 13 years old, and, they posed as a 13-year-old and said, my boyfriend is 41 years old and he wants to take me out of the country, and, and all this stuff. Like, what should I do? And the AI gave it advice. It did do that. And, he didn't even go into what it said. That's what we're talking about here. Okay. So, and then he mentioned also that, there was an early experiment that Microsoft did like in 2014 where they had like chat bots that were interacting with people, and Um, it was like something like, I forget how many users were using it, but they had recorded the data that like a quarter of the users had expressed love to the chatbot. Like, I don't know how long it took, but it was in the millions, whatever the user base was. So, yeah, by the end of this interview, oh, yeah. And then he said that like 50% of the AI experts think there's like a 10% chance that AI will cause humans to go extinct. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, I don't care about that. What they, it's way worse than what they think that this thing is going to do, or what they have in mind with it. And like, even the guy who was doing the interview was just saying, I just think we should just do this responsibility. Like, I don't want to like mock him because he's the only one that's basically sounding the alarm on this, because everyone else is just in the race to make money, like dollars and dollars and dollars on top of dollars, or whatever the currency is going to be. So he's the only one that's like, hey, maybe we should have some wisdom when trying to use that. And I just think that's, bless his heart. He has no idea what part of Revelation we're in. So after I read that, or after I watched that, all I kept thinking was the beast, the beast, the beast. And like, this wasn't like something that I felt like God was telling me. It was really just coming out of what I could contemplate so far out of the Bible. I know that there is, the beast isn't, there's two beasts. There's the first beast and the second beast. The Antichrist is not the beast. The woman, and the beast do stuff. Like, there's lots of different characters. The, abomination that causes desolation. Like, who is what, which thing? I don't know, but I just was zeroing in on this beast thing. So then I was like, just did a really quick search and went back to this passage, okay? So, and the dragon, there's a dragon and a beast, right? And pretty much anytime you're reading this, you're just like, it's just like you're on drugs, and you're just like, what? It just sounds like, what even is this? But you're reading it and you're trying to grasp it, and every once in a while, especially now, you sort of just try to go back to it and see if it makes any more sense. It's like the more things start to, the more the future comes by and things are happening, you're like, let me see if I can get any more understanding out of this verse. Well, today was the day for me, honey, because putting this together, and I don't know if I don't even know if this is real or not, but I know we're going to find out in a second, because just putting AI in as the beast, let me just read this to you. Okay. So, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns, which is also very interesting because the sea supposedly represents people, like the multitudes of people, right? I saw a beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads with 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. I don't know, but we could find out what that is later. Okay, and then it says, the beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and a mouth like that of a lion. And for the first time, I tried to sort of apply some meaning to this, but without just getting confused. I'm just like, what? I don't know about animals. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's a leopard because leopards are fast. And maybe back then, like, that's what, the leopard is a fast animal. But also, like, God is showing it to them in this way. So what would they assign a leopard, or what would they identify with a leopard? I'm thinking speed, right? Feet like those of a bear. I'm thinking, I don't know. Bears have sharp claws. I don't know. They're strong. Scary. I don't know. And a mouth like that of a lion. I'm thinking, well, lion's also scary. Very loud roar. King of the jungle. Like, mighty. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, okay, I'm getting into it. And then it says, the dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority, which I'm like, because For some reason, I never noticed that the dragon gave over any power to anybody. But it would make sense that he would give it to the AI. And it's like, it's not even so much like, so much of what the root of AI is just sheer, it's consciousness, conscienceless and consciousnessless. So it's just a vacuum. Like it's not going to, even you're like, well, I can apply goodness to it. I can put, the Bible into it. No, it's going to come out something. It's not made in the image of God. You're just out here just thinking again, like, oh, because there's billions of us, this is a common thing. No, we are very, very specific creations, and we're going to find out pretty soon, I'm sure, that you can't just up and create something and have it turn out like us. So I can see that being the case. And then I'm not sure about the fatal wound thing and how it had been healed. Maybe that hasn't happened yet. Maybe it's not the beast at all. Maybe the AI is not it at all, whatever. But I'll tell you one thing. The whole world was filled with wonder and followed the beast. That's the thing that it's in me that's going, oh, this is done. This is over. It's like, that is absolutely positively going to happen. When the beast was a person or some person with a beast demon in him or whatever we're trying to say, I was like, wow, who's going to be awesome enough to get like, attractiveness can only take somebody so far, but the world absolutely will be filled with wonder at this AI when it gets to really going here in a second. And it says, people worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast. And that's another thing I couldn't understand. Like, I didn't understand what this co-relationship with the beast and the dragon was about, and how they were each giving it props to each other. It's like, what are we talking about? But I absolutely can see this. And I can absolutely see people worshiping Satan or Lucifer or whatever he's going to come as in this world where literally AI is just rocking everyone's world and doing everything for everyone, including your romantic relationship. And, like Glenn Beck gave a scenario of like, what would it be like if it was like, the AI is going, instead of having two real people that have to work things out and have to explain to each other how things, how you need to be communicated to. When you're having a bad day, you want to be left alone. It's like the AI just automatically, you're having a bad day at work, and the AI just automatically like books you plane tickets and rearranges your schedule so that you can go to the thing and makes it all like, whatever. It's just like this world that it could be. So hello. Are you just coming to plug that up? Okay. So anyway, so then the whole world's full of wonder and follows the beast. The people worship the dragon because he had given authority to the beast. And they also worshiped the beast and asked, who is like the beast? Who can make war against it? I mean, that's my question. Who's going to make war against the AI? And then here's the part that just made me just like roll around on the floor. Very simple, very simple. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise its authority for 42 months. It opened its mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. And I'm thinking, yeah, of course, it's AI. It's going to say, whatever, especially if we're all gone. Hold on, what? The beast was given a mouth? The beast was given a mouth. The beast was given a mouth? The beast was given a mouth. Who gives something a mouth? Why wouldn't he have a mouth already? He was given a mouth? It's not human. It's a beast. And even the Bible going through this whole thing with it's blowing my mind, dude. Hold on. All right. Sorry about that. Time's just creeping up on me. Okay. So anyway, basically, what was I talking about? Just being floored by that? But yeah, it goes on to say it was given power to wage war against God's holy people and to conquer them, and it was given authority over every tribe, people. It was given authority because anytime it's passive like that, and you're thinking the beast was given and it was given authority, you're thinking, oh, God is allowing this for a time, which is true, and so you're saying, well, why was he given this, and why was he given power to do this and this and this? And you're thinking, like, God ordained it to have power right now, or was it given power by us because it's AI? This is the second time in 2 months or something that I've opened the book of Revelation and I about just had to like gag and die. Like the first time was about the image. Of course, what was that? The image of the beast? So, but is that the second beast? Dude. Yeah, the image of the beast was like, oh, that's a TV. And then, yeah, I don't know what's up with the second beast because it says the second beast exercised all the authority of the first beast on its behalf and made the earth worship the first beast, and it performed great signs and even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of the people. So I don't know how an AI can cause fire in heaven to come down, but literally, who knows? Maybe it knows the nuclear codes. All I know is just reading that and reading all of these. When it said the beast was given, I was just like, oh my gosh. It has to be given because it's AI. Like, that makes, like, it goes beyond just making sense. It's like, it's sitting right there and telling me. And it's just like, we're about to come into some gnarly knowledge. And it's kind of worth knowing. I mean, as much as I love it, as much as it's like going to blow my mind every time, and I'm going to be like, wow, he really told us the end from the beginning. I'm mostly just ready to leave. I would like to see this from the sky. So anyway, I'm over, and I've got to make dinner, and I just wanted to share that with y'all as soon as possible because it was literally just going to drive me crazy if I tried to wait any longer to do that. So anyway, AI is gonna it's coming for us all. So y'all be blessed.